Hi, everybody. I'm Marco Ríos. I'm the lead of the Data Management and Data Governance Circle. And today we are going to take a time to try to understand what data governance does for you, for your company, and for your daily work. We are going to go through this agenda. First of all, yes, a couple of slides of who we are related with Keepler, and also with the circle where I spend my time. But then the main goal today is to understand what does data governance do for you. That is the main goal. But for me, it's also important to show some trends that what is coming in terms of data management and data governance in next year and maybe in a couple of years. For everybody, just to give these first points that who we are in Keepler. We are a company related with the travel of the companies to be a normal one or something more traditional to transform to a real data-driven company. Right now we have many different projects, more techies, more related with management, also with the delivery or the generation of insights. But I want to spend a few seconds here just to show you what we do at the reality in the real world. We as I told you before, in Keepler we help the many companies to make this travel, to define the path and to follow the path in the best way, just to be a real data driving company. We find out many points that every single company needs to have this maturity level and this to be sure that they are using the right data in the right time to take the better decisions. And we have many different points where we have to help every company. We have in the early beginnings mates that help you with your platforms, with your ETLs, with every single piece of technology that you need. We call this area or this circle the cloud circle. But then we have to be sure that everything that you did in your company have the same rules and have a context. And this is where the data governance circle appear and go with you through all the paths. At the end of the road is always this data activation or this kind of delivery of insights that it helps for our circle called data circle. So we work together in many different points of this path, and we try to give the whole context to your reality. Yeah. When we are talking about data governance or data management, many people think that it's only we are talking only in some main points or some slogans or this kind of claims that we always listen. But the reality is that we try to work with you as a facilitator. Every single guy who works in terms of data governance is no matter if somebody external or somebody inside the company. The main goal for us is to be the facilitator. Yeah, to try to go deeper in your company and try to put together all the goals that have in business terms, in technical aspects, and also from the top leadership board to the different business units that knows the daily work and the daily pains that they have. That is maybe quite easy to say. It's quite easy to show. If we write this in a paper, it's always okay because everybody's agree with this. But then we found that many people have the approach of a real academic approach to this kind of problems, to this kind of challenges. We have the chains. We have these vertical chains from the leadership in the top to the bottom in the business units, but also this kind of skills chains in terms of more technical issues with guys from IT and this kind of stuff, and also with business units or people that use the data. So we put everything together, but how we put this together? And that is the most difficult thing, and it's something that everybody asks and everybody needs to land to your day-by-day work. If anybody of you take a look if in any single academical aspects, and you look for some blogs or something like this, you always see this kind of infography. For me, have sense, totally sense. You have to be in the early beginnings of somebody who wants to deploy a real data governance program inside a company. Have sense to show everything like this, and to say, oh, hey, we have like a house, like a Parthenon, and we have some bases in the bottom. We have some governance structure, some policies, some kind of our rules that it's going to rule the whole program. But from time to time, nobody understand when we have to deploy something, which one is the most important, which one affect to my company, because it's crazy to think that everything is going to be important in the same way in my company. So for us, it's easy to show this to the clients. Everybody shake his heads and say, okay, I need this, I understand that I need this or something like this, but how to start, and who has to be involved in every single step of this. And that is when somebody needs helps from somebody who deployed this before, and to contextualize everything in your reality. First of all, saying, okay, you have this kind of a structure. We said this governance structure. We have this organizational model normally involve more the leadership layer, on the top, and also people from business that help us to build these rules, the main rules, these structures, these policies, these procedures that help us later on to build specific rules or specific policies for every single piece. We call this moment is the top down moment of the program, because we need to involve here people from the board, people that can open every single door inside the company. For us, it's quite complicated, and everybody who is involved in these chains, in these cultural chains, understand me that it's quite important to have somebody who help us to open the doors, to build the agenda with people from business, to show inside the company how important is this for the company, not maybe in short term, but also in mid-term and long term. And this is the moment that we call this top down. Somebody from the board, for somebody who has these leadership skills, help us to build this whole or this holistic or these strategical rules. But it's not the main goal of this, because when somebody somebody from the business units have the feeling that came from this layer of the company, is something that somebody thinks that we need inside the company, but I don't understand how it's going to help me in my daily work. We need to combine this top-down approach with something that comes from the business units, some from the bottom, this bottom-up approach that came from the business units, and is the moment when we try to realize different initiatives, different cases directly from the business units, that they know what happened inside the company, they know which are the real pain points of the company, and we try to understand what kind of initiative have the more impact with the less effort for everybody inside the company. So in this moment is when we have at the same time, it don't have to be exactly at the same time, but we have to plan that in the early beginnings of the deploy of the data governance plan, we have to involve the board, and we have to involve here also the business units. Yes, to build something physical, something that everybody understand, that give value for everything that we want to build across the company in the future. So we have to talk with them related with a catalog, data catalog, or maybe with related with a business glossary, or maybe they need some tool to deliver some information, or maybe they have. We find out here that they have a real problem with data quality, and we have to build the early beginning of the data quality strategy. But that came from the real world, for the ground. Yeah. So we have these two different levels, this top down and this bottom up. But then we found out here that something that somebody or many people understand that is more cosmetic, or is more holistic or philosophical, is the last one, that it must be across the company, and must be planned at the beginning, at the early beginning. Why at the early beginning? We saw this many times in the companies. They say, okay, we build the policies from with guys from the leadership layer. Okay, we find out some cases that we can go with them to have something that everybody can see and can touch. And then maybe next year we start with literacy, or with some academical courses, something like this. But that is not the truth. The truth is that we have the feeling, and we are quite 100% sure that it's quite helpful learning by doing. When we are building something for a client, together with them, we build this kind of cases. We said before, we can build a data catalog, something like this. In this moment is when we have to have this delivery, this second delivery, according with data literacy. It's not only that the people who is directly involved in building this data catalog have to know what is a catalog, how to use this catalog, and why we are doing that. That must go across the company. We have to define, well define, who are going to be the stakeholders, who are the owners of the domain, who are going to be the people inside the company who populate the tool for the catalog. And we have to manage the literacy in order to be more or less step by step with the building of the solution. Yeah. So this data literacy must be across the company. We are not talking right now with this bottom-up approach or this top-down approach. We are talking about the whole company approach. Maybe not everybody, but everybody who maybe is a stakeholder right now, or maybe in the future must be a stakeholder, or have to take decision according with the use of the data, or the data products that we build, must be in this data literacy program, or this data literacy step. Yeah. So we have these 3 points. The content of every single point, you can find this in a lot of books, a lot of frames, a lot of blogs. But for us, it's quite important to know how to deploy this, and how to put everything together and how to put this in a plan. But then came the reality, and that is more or less a joke. This is how we see ourselves, with a lot of success, with trying to be this centered. The spotlight is in us. Everybody's is listening. Everybody's doing what we want to do to make something beautiful, like a symphony or something like this. But the reality is, from time to time, our work is like this. We have a lot of different profiles, a lot of different people inside the company, outside the company, also in technical teams, in our management teams, with data teams inside Keepler. And we have to manage that we have the less the less crashes as possible, and try to build agendas of everybody to align everybody inside, and to go further, the faster that we can go, but to be sure that we are doing the right work for everybody there. Yeah, how we work, but that is not the reality for us. Our daily work from time to time is like this, more like this. We are not a real airport. We feel like in this in this film, in airplane, sorry, aterriza como puedas in Spanish. In 5 minutes, it's like you have everything in your agenda. You have everything planned for the next 2 months. A lot of meetings for everybody, and then in 5 minutes we have to rebuild the plan. And yeah, from time to time, believe me, it's a little bit of stress. And just to follow this example, we go further with what is coming. With these 2 references, everybody knows more or less my age. Yeah, we are talking about Back to the Future and what's coming according with data governance and also with data management. We find out that gains for our daily work, for the knowledge that we get for our customers, and for conversation that we have inside with more technical circles. We find 5 main points in the wheel for the next years. First of all, is automation. For sure, right now, everybody feels that they need something to manage the data. Yeah, to have these rules and to have these policies and these procedures inside the tool, but nobody knows how to work with this. We are going to have this kind of, there's a lot of different tools right now that go through this automation path and try to build some different how to define the metadata, or how to populate the tool directly with some automation. Yeah, and that must be inside the knowledge, or inside the veins of the company, in terms of the use of the data. We don't forget that these rules are built just to be ensured that we have the best data for the insights that we want to extract for this data. The second one is related to the cloud. We find out here a lot of companies, and that is more or less our core business for years. And we have the feeling that everybody wants to be in the cloud, and everybody needs to be in the cloud. Not everybody right now, but in a few years, everybody must be there. I'm not going to tell you why and which are the main points that give us to be sure that everybody is going to make this travel from on-premise to the cloud. But we build many structure, many policies, and also we deliver the information in the tools regarding to be governance the cloud data that we deploy to the clients. So catalog tools and this kind of stuff are going to be more inside the cloud platforms, and we have to be there. The third one, and for me it's quite important to have this in our minds, is compliance. We came from a huge change in some rules regarding with law in European Union, also in Spain. That came with the GDPR, came everything around the use of the data. We have to be more accurate in the use of the data, and we have to take care of our data to be sure that we have the right use for the right data, and the right data for every single data use, data case that we want to build. And the main point here is that we came from an environment that compliance is something that everybody wants to have, to be more or less sure that everybody is doing in the right way, more or less related with data ethics on this kind of good feelings strategies. And right now that comes is going to be a must inside the companies. Yeah, we have here put the sensitive and the personal data that are going to be a problem for everybody, to how to manage this data and how to use this data in the future. And yes, I told you, that's became a must in few years, and we have to manage this and to governance everything in our company to be sure that we have we are compliance. The fourth is democratization and data ethics. More related with democratization. Quite complicated to show a client that democratization is a long journey. To show that they need some earlier steps for be sure that they are going to be a sure company in terms of democratization. They have the aptitude and the attitude of the people inside the company. They have the amount of data and the data that they need to for this kind of changes, to have this. I am sure that you listen. Talk about data mesh and this kind of stuff. It's quite complicated to make this travel. And one of the first steps is to be sure that we have the roles and the responsibility regarding with different uses or the different types of data inside our company. Yes, to have a good use of this information. And that is related also with data ethics. It's a crash between the concept of democratization and the concept to be careful with the use of the data. But we have to have a strong background and strong pool of rules that help us to be sure that nobody's using the data in cases that we not allowed or are not according with the philosophy of the company. Yeah, so this is going to be a goal in the next year. Is something that is from Europe is a push right here to have more information to the people and to get them with this information to have their own insights. But inside the company is going to be a tough journey, and we have to build a strong basis to be sure that we do it in the right way. And the last one, maybe is something that is everybody has in their vocabulary right now. Every CEO in every single company wants to have something from AI. We are talking also about deep learning, the use of some structure and structured information that they don't have this fit right now in our rules or in the traditional way to manage the information. And for sure, we go to something new, something in other term maybe sexy. Everybody wants to be there, but we have to manage this new information and the use that we are going to do from this information. We are going to have less people around, the different cases, the different models that we build with AI and this kind of things. So we have to be careful with this, and we have to be careful just to have fuel, the best fuel for our future business cases regarding with deep learning and intelligence, artificial intelligence. With all of this, we want to give here some overview of the main points and some different tips around the deploy of this kind of programs or this kind of initiatives that we think are important and are not common in these blogs or on this kind of academical information that you can find in internet or wherever. And we are working on these trends. We are trying to be aligned with these trends. We have people inside the company that have this technical background, strong background, that go ahead with these trends, and we want to be there with them, yes, to help to have the best package for the company. When somebody wants to do something on cloud, somebody wants to explore them there to get insights from the data, or somebody wants to go with deep learning, something like this, be sure that they have all the tools to do that. And with that, yes, only finish saying thank you. I hope that this time that you spent here listening me and watching the presentation was helpful. And for any other conversation, any other doubts or something like this, yes, don't hesitate to send an email or to have contact with us. And yeah, thank you very much, and that's all.